Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela and I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and welcome back to Throwback Friday number 7. Right, so on today's episode we have got a couple of chatty videos, we have got a breaking news, and I think there's even a tutorial thrown in for good measure. So let's jump over and have a look at the first one, and I'll try and work out what I was thinking when I was doing it, so that I can explain a bit more to you and pick up on anything that I've missed during that tutorial, or update you on any of it. Not even the tutorial, crikey, my brain is not in gear. But anyway, let's have a look.
Hello my crazies, my name's Angela and I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady. Right, today I thought I would do a bit of a catch up on what I've been up to this last week, I think, since my last main chatty videos got put up. Right, so my main thing is I've been crocheting up a storm, but I'm sorry to say it's nothing for you guys. Last week, as I said to you, I'd put on a post on my private Facebook. Well, it went a bit crazy, not majorly crazy, as in some things could really go super crazy, but this one didn't. I'd put the NHS bear that I'd made up just to show friends and family. Next thing I know, a friend shared it, and off of the back of that share I got another 4 orders. So of course there's one just waiting to go out now, and that is the last one. So in total I've ended up making 6 of those bears. So last night was the first chance I'd had to get on with the green and purple seat corner to corner blanket. I didn't really get much of that done either, because after making 5 of those bears my hands were seriously cramping up. So I've had to have a day off of crocheting today. So as a bit of a change of scene, I decided I was going to move this room around a little bit. Not a great deal, but it meant that everything that was on the little mini dresser behind me had to come off. All of the drawers came out, and then that got moved from the side wall here, which is where you normally get to see it. You just sort of see an edge and a bit of wall poking off, and then I've placed it on the back wall alongside the bed. Now I had to measure that. I had 2mm. I've got about 2mm between that and the shelf that was already up there, so it was a case of very gently sliding it in with my feet and my size 9s. But of course I got it in, and then popping everything on so you can have a bit of a nose at the possible colours. Although I have noticed that at the moment the light's coming through the window, but it's coming through the tiniest crack on the curtain, and it makes no difference, it's still slightly bleaching it out. So I might have to have a think and work out how or where I can put the curtain, or whether I super glue it to the wall or something, just to try and stop that coming through, or even changing the colour of the curtains. So at the moment they're a beigey white. So yeah, so today has been a mega sorting that area out. I'm not showing you the bed because it's still loaded, but hopefully now my desk is all clear and that looks all neat and tidy, in my opinion anyway. So give us a heads up, tell me what you think, or would you prefer the camera going back to where it was so that you get to see the bed and the wardrobe? I just thought this was looking a little bit more creative, and it means I can it means I can hang some bits up for when we're coming up to Halloween or anything like that, and I can use the shelf directly above my head for amigurumis. If they're little amigurumis, anything that's created by me can go there, so you can have a nose and then you can ask for the pattern and I'll make it up. And no, I still haven't got to making that bear above my head. I haven't got to making him up yet, but I think I have found my notes on how to make the head, which if I have, that is brilliant. But I won't be remaking a video with that wall because you can't see the stitches at all, so I'm going to have to find a different wall that will work along with the pattern still. So it means I'm going to have to make another one and not use the body that I've already got. But it needs to an end, doesn't it? Also I decided to have a look through all of the items that I've made that I had in my cupboard. And I realised that with all these items that I've made, I've got no chance of passing them out as Christmas presents. And if I did, there'd probably be enough there for about 2 or 3 years. Now, most of my friends and family have already got items anyway, so I decided to photograph them, and I'm going to sell them off. Also, the proceeds I'll make from that will help me buy more yarn to stick stick behind me, and more yarn so that I can show you all different yarns. And I'm gabbling again. Right. So what I've also been doing is photographing all of it, and then I've set up a Facebook shop, and I've just been putting it on there, and that was a farce in itself, because my computer decided it wasn't going to play again, so my husband's updated a load of bits and pieces for me, and put some new programs on, and given it a bit of a juice up as well, so I've got a lot more storage. So now nothing that I've done is in any of the files than it was previously. So of course I've also got to sort out the computer so that everything's where it needs to be. Right, so a little bit of positive news is I've managed to get up to 150 subscribers, so I'm pretty chuffed with that. If you haven't subscribed yet, but you're coming to have a nose, please subscribe, because I've got some crazy stuff on the channel already, and a couple of tutorials and a lot of yarn. So have a subscribe and have another nose. And if you like what you see, then stay around. Stupid squeaky chair. Okay, so my shout out for my 150 subscriber is Gina, and she is the Crafty Grandma Gina, and I'll pop a link to her page in the information below. So she's only got 108 subs herself, so I'm catching up with you, Gina. I'll be a bit behind you yet, honey pie. Right, that's it for me for today. I'm going to head off because I've got to attack the garden now. Well, finish tidying this room and then attack the garden at the front, just in time so I can sit out on the lawn and have sandwiches with all my neighbours at a social distance. Right, I will see you all soon. Goodbye for now.
So there you go. That episode was about me moving this room around so it finally looked like it does now, but with less crocheted stuff in it. It's getting a bit crowded now. And then of course there was me discussing the red hair bear above my head. Now I cannot for the life of me find the head pattern, part of that pattern. I've gone through every single notepad I've got. I did find a section that was saying how to do the head bit, but it didn't have the whole head bit, so it had missing the front bit. So it's that bear is never going to be made into a pattern. He is a one-off crazy original. Right, and then what else was there? Oh yeah, and the selling items on Facebook. Well, cheers lockdown. I've sold one item, but it was a green short. It was a green top that you may have already seen actually, on the mannequin. But when the room was round the other way, so it would have been in one of the earlier episodes of Throwback Friday. I don't know which one. I can't even remember. Right, so that's that for that one. Right, so the next one up is the Spidey tutorial, and it's only a little short tutorial because there is bouncing between this tutorial and the unicorn tutorial, because I use the same base pattern basically for it. I just don't use as many increase rounds for the Spidey as I did for the unicorn. But other than that, it explains how to make the Spidey base, how to do his eyes, and where to put the web on and things like that, so that you could create a Spidey as well. And fingers crossed you like it. I'll see you on the other end.
Hello my crazies, right, today I am going to be showing you how to make a Spidey, I'll have to call him that because I've got to be careful, the Spidey case for your next pillow insert. Now I haven't actually got any pillow inserts at the moment, which is why he's not completely finished off. But he is a bit smaller than the unicorn one, so if you're not really up for making the unicorn pillow, or you haven't got a little one that likes unicorns, hopefully you've got a Marvel fan that likes Spidey. So to create Spidey, we are going to cheat. We are going to cheat. We are going to hop over to the unicorn pillow tutorial, that the link's down below, and we will copy the pattern through to the end of row 8. Then we'll skip forwards a little bit and you will do the edging section, which in the video is in a pink. We will do that for the front and the back panel, but don't join them, just come back to me on this video and we will carry on with the next steps. Okay, so we are back now. We are going to be making the eyes. You're going to need to make 2 of these. They're pretty quick to make up once you get the pattern in your head. You are going to need a white and a black DK weight wool, a 3mm or a D hook, your darning needle and your scissors. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a magic ring. Loop your yarn round twice, then you're going to take your hook, go under the first 2 strands, pull through, twist your hook, then pick up the strand at the back there, and you'll be able to bring it forwards a little bit. You're going to hook over and you're going to pull through both loops on your hook. And there we go. Okay, so once you have your magic ring, we are going to chain up 3. Now this counts as your first double crochet. Okay, so now we are going to place 9 double crochets into the magic ring. Now remember that your chain does count as the 10th stitch. So in total there will be 10. I'll meet you back here in a moment. Okay, so I'm just coming up to my 10th stitch now. Now I'll pull up the loop because we are going to close our magic ring. And then pop your yarn back on your hook. Now to close off the ring, we are going to place a slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. Okay, so now we've done that row, we are going to chain 3. And then we are going to place double crochet in the same loop, same stitch. Now we're going to be placing 2 double crochets over the next 6 stitches, which will give you a stitch count of 14. We will not be working in the round anymore. We will literally be turning our work and working backwards and forwards along this bit here. Now by doing that, it gives you sort of an eyeball shape. So for the next round we will chain 3, and turn our work. Now we're placing a double crochet into that first stitch, and now we're going to repeat this pattern all the way along. So it is a double crochet, followed by an increase, which is 2 double crochets in the same spot. And we will carry that on all the way round until we get to the end here. Now when you're coming up to the end, your last increase will be in the very last stitch on the top of the chain. Okay, and your stitch count will be a 21. So you're ending with an increase. Okay, once you've checked your counts, chain 3 and turn your work. Okay, so now for this round we are going to be placing one double crochet in each stitch all the way around, which will give us a stitch count of 21. So here I am coming up to the very last stitch, which is in the end of your chain 3 from the previous round. There we go. Now we will be chaining 1 and turn. Now in this round we are going to be placing 21 single crochet all the way around. I'll meet you back in a moment. Okay, so here I am for the last stitch. That is in the top of your chain 3 from the previous round. Now at this point we will be adding the black. So to add your black, make yourself a little slip knot, pop it onto your hook and pull that through the remainder of the stitch. Okay, and there we go, we've added our black. In a few minutes we can tie a knot with these 2 strands to secure it and then weave it in. Now our next section is to chain 1, turn your work, and at this point we are going to do on stitch all the way to the other end, and I will meet you in a moment when we get to the corner. So I'm meeting you back here for stitch 26. Now this is your corner stitch, so at this point we will be placing 3 single crochets into the corner point. Now evenly we will be placing single crochets along this line here. So if you can make out the stitch, pop it in there, but as I said, do it nice and evenly along. Sorry, my yarn's separating on me today. Now we carry that on all the way along here, and I will meet you when we get back to this corner here. Hi, back with you. Right, so now we will be placing 2 single crochet in that very first stitch that already has 1 in. Okay, then we will be running a slip stitch into the top of the very first stitch, like that. Hook over and pull up your yarn and pull to finish, and that is it finished. Now all we need to do is sew in your ends, and I'll meet you for the next part in a moment. Now your next step is to pop your the web on. Now for myself, the way I did this was I'll flip it over so you can see. Hopefully you can see that there's the lines where you've had your increases. So what I did was I weaved in and out of the increases up and down, and came across all of my increase arrows here, and then I added the in and outs as I went along. Alright, so that's how mine has turned out. Okay, so our next step is to decide how you want the eyes, whether you want him upset, droopy, or where it needs, or in their normal places. Okay, we'll sew those on. Right, so you're up to this point now where your front panel has got its eyes and the webbing. Now what I'd like you to do is pop back to the unicorn video for the joining of the two sections. I'll pop in a link below with the timings that you need to fast forward it to. Okay, so then once all that's all joined up, you are good to go. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Sorry about all the bouncing backwards and forwards. And I will see you all soon for my next one. Ta-ra for now. Stay safe.
Right, and the next one up is a breaking news for Australia way back when, so it's really out of date, but it's worth a giggle, isn't it? And it's worth knowing, sort of checking back on the promotions and trying to keep a track of them so that we know when to hit them the best for the best deals. Now, with this one, I had literally rolled out of bed and grabbed the day before's clothes, shoved it on so that, and tried to make myself look presentable so that I could record it quick, edit it quick, and get it out and up and out before any of you Australians basically went to bed, so that you knew that you had something to look forward to for the next day. Shopping! Yeah, I'll have a nose.
Good morning, my crazies. I say good morning because I've literally only been out of bed about 20 minutes. I wanted to pop on because I've just spotted some brilliant news for anyone living in Australia. Now, it appears that some Aldi stores in some areas of Australia are stocking yarn. So I've got a list here of the places that I actually now know about. I will be popping the bar above my head, which will give the proper spelling for the different areas that I know it's been in. Now, I've only been to Melbourne, so I've only practiced and heard Melbourne name areas. I will try my hardest, and apologise if I completely muck them up. Right, so our first one is in Sydney. I'm sorry to say, I know it's massive. I've got no information for shortening it down, but there was someone in Sydney that said they got it in those. Right, now Queensland, that's above my head here. Okay, so our next one is in Brisbane. I stupidly didn't write down where that was either. Right, okay, next one. I'm having a go at these ones because they are in Victoria. So we've got Hastings, we've got Barnsdale, we've got Parkview and Geelong. Oh my god, June, get to Geelong. I need some more yarn. Love you, honey. Right, okay. So New South Wales, it's above my head, but I'm having a go at it. Wagga Wagga. Hope I got that right. And the other one from New South Wales is above my head again, and it's Wayway or Wayway. Right, and last one on my list is Adelaide. You've got some in your South Wales, some in your stores as well. I'm sorry, I can't pinpoint it down to exact stores as I am in the UK, and I know that the UK can fit into Australia a lot of times. Right, so have a nose. I'm not even sure if you've got an online service. I'm hoping you have. If you have, jump on your online service now, and you should be able to pick up those yarns just the same as we do in the UK and then get them delivered to the house, and maybe throw in some treats for yourself or the rest of the family to keep them quiet while you're crocheting in the corner. So I hope that helps some of you, and anyone else in Australia, if you're popping into Aldi's to do your weekly shop and you notice that they have got yarn in your local store, could you please pop a message in the comments below with the area that the store is in, or even the store itself, and like a zip code or something, just to give us other crazy crocheters a chance of grabbing some yarn. Right, I'm going to head off. I will see you all soon, and I hope the good news was for your area. Goodbye for now. Stay safe, stay in, and goodbye for now.
Oh my gosh, Aldi yarn in Australia. Didn't make it anywhere else, mind. Just those few shops, and since that point I've not heard of any other Aldis are restocking it in their bins or anything, which is a shame, because I know that some people really love this yarn. Right, so who's up for me chatting the ear roll off again? This is another chatty one. I'll do a little explaining at the end. I'll see you in a bit. Hope you enjoy.
Hello my crazies, my name's Angela and I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and today I thought I'd pop in and say hello, see how you are all doing, and I also wanted to show you a couple of makes and have a chat through about them and tell you what's up and coming on the channel for this next week. Right, so as you can see, I'm in the process, I'm here wearing a scarf, like a summer scarf that I've made. Now this is quite an intricate little lace pattern, but it's a really simple lace pattern. Now the pattern itself I got from Courtney at Fiberfox Studios. Now I've made a couple of bits of Courtney's now, and I should have remembered that I need to go up a hook size or two when I'm working Courtney's patterns, because she crochets a lot, I crochet a lot tighter than her, and especially seeing as all I've been making this last week is amigurumi, and you have to pull that tight. So of course I've jumped from amigurumi to attempting lace, so this should have been a lot wider with the yarn type that I used, but because of pulling it tight still, it's meant that it's only come in at 7 inches wide, and I think it's meant to be 9. So it's a bit of an issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stand up so you can see what it looks like sort of on me. There we go. Oh, can I get any further back? There we go. Oh, wrong way. There we go. So that's what it's come out like. Now it's showing up really quite beautifully on the screen. And I'll take it slow and hope it focuses in. Yeah, so as you can see, it's a really stunning pattern, and what I'm going to do is I will put a link down below to Courtney's video so that you can have a watch and a nose and possibly make it in something else. Now I cannot tell you what yarn I've used because it was one of the ones I'd picked up from Australia that was in a mill end bag. It's definitely not an acrylic because it's got sort of an oily, smelly, smell texture to it. So I'm thinking it's got a bit of a wool blending because it's sort of starting to irritate my neck, and I'm not very good with wool unless it's been washed a few times. So I'll be taking this off in a millisecond and then I will show you my next item. Right, so as some of you eagle-eyed people might have noticed, I've got 2 new things in the background. One being the stripy blanket that I've finally created, which was the corner to corner blanket that I've been working on the other week before the teddy bear orders came in. Now that one measures in at 32 inches by 45 inches. So it's not bad, but it's sort of a, is it a cot blanket or is it something else, or is it just a shove it over the kids, like little kids blanket, and while they're sitting on the sofa watching telly. But at the end of the day, it's done and it's finished, and it's got a really cool a cool border to it, which I will pop a picture up in a minute for you. Right, so on the border itself, it's a row of single crochet, and then I've swapped colours to a row of half double crochet, and then I've swapped colours again for another row of half double crochet. So just giving it a little bit of a stripe at the end. Tell us what you think. I don't mind it actually. I quite like it, which is good because it's probably going to be there for a while. Okay, so number 2 is there it is. That is the mask from hell. That's the mask that my daughter actually made. She's only 14. Now I'm just going to leave it there. I will put up some clearer images for you to have a nose at. That is after it's had its lockdown haircut. Now I was liking it before it had its lockdown haircut, but you couldn't actually see all the different coloured yarns because the lengths were so weird and wonderful. At one point I think it was about that far out. It was so fluffy, but it's really, I think it's come up beautifully. Absolutely adore it. So that's going to be in the background for a little while until she does get to go back to school and she gets to hand it in to the art teacher, and you may find it'll get swapped out for another one because it's somebody's birthday very, very soon, and I know what she's got. So there'll probably be more masks coming, or more arty crafty stuff that will sit in that little spot there. Okay, right, on to my next make. Now I have teased you in the past because I went like this and I just showed you this. What I didn't show you was that it's actually a cover for a Spider-Man pillow, or a Spidey pillow. Got to be careful what we say. The video to this has just been completed and uploaded, and it will be available to you on Thursday at 10:30. So if you're up for a Spidey man, sorry, grab yourself some red DK weight yarn, some white and some black, and get ready with your 4mm hook. Now this would look better but if it was stuffed and had its cushioning, but I don't have one to fit at the moment, and I'm running a bit low on stuffing, so rather than stuffing something that's just going to sit by and sit and wait for someone to find it and like it, I'm using my stuffing on the teddies and things. So what else? I think that's about it really. I've been busy creating, just not as speedily and as much as normal, but I am working on another little stuffed toy, but again that's someone else's pattern, so I will pop a link to that at a later point once it's made. And my plan of action is to double check the pattern that I think I found for the teddy bear that's above my head, the red one, and then I'm actually going to make it in possibly that blue yarn, that's the blue and white speckled yarn that's behind me, because I think that's the only one that I've got that's going to be similar size. So that's my next attempted project, hopefully, and if that works out, that'll be to you next week. If it doesn't, you'll get stuck with a poppy square instead. But again, I've got to make that up, so that's 2 more recordings I'm gonna try and get out tonight, so expect to see the same outfit because I don't see the point in changing it. But it's just a case of getting it done while the little birds are up there in their little nest in the wall. When they're asleep it's fine, but otherwise it's very stop start waiting for them to shut up between food times. They're driving me insane. But hey ho, little blackbirds are so cute. Right, I'm going to head off now, and I will see you all soon. Take care, stay in, stay safe. Alright, and big hugs to you all. Ta-ra for now.
Crikey, I had to write notes for this one. Right, so of course we have, first off was the Fiberfox Studios with the scarf. Now that scarf, it wasn't completely completed because there are a few more rows that are added to it that Courtney adds to gain the width. And also she gives you the option of 3 different edging styles. So I chose the edging that I liked on that one. It's Nafa Yarn Eater, but I think it looks lovely. I will pop a link again to that video up above and down below. And then there was... Right, then of course there was me talking about the green blanket again. Now this green blanket hasn't got a pattern. It's a very simple pattern repeat where you do 10 rows of one colour and 2 rows of the other. That's simple, and then of course I have discussed it within this video of how to do the border as well. So nice and simple. Now in the image that I used for the green blanket there is also a unicorn stuffy. That unicorn is not mine, that is a pattern that can be found on Pinterest. And you know what? That mask is still on the side hiding behind because she still hasn't had a chance to take it into school. But I must admit I love her creativity. She's got so much more stuff. Her nan brought her some clay. We are talking a big block of clay. It's bigger than a house breeze block. This thing looks like something that I used, our infants and juniors school used back in the 80s, like a massive chunk, and they used to have a wire that they used to have to cut it with. And so she's got this massive chunk and she sits there and looks at it and goes, oh, what on earth? So, got any ideas on what she can use clay for apart from to make house bricks? Please tell me, because I haven't got the foggiest and neither has she. Right, I am going to head off now. I will see you all really, really soon. Thank you for watching. Please, if you can, stay in and definitely stay safe. Ta-ra for now.